We're here with Jim Dean. He's the park president of Busch Gardens Tampa. He's going to talk to us about Cobra's Curse opening tomorrow.
Yep,
June 17th. And he's going to give us a good insight for why Busch Gardens Tampa needed a coaster like Cobra's Curse and not something big and thrilling like its neighbor here, Montu.
We've got some great thrilling rides. Montu, Shikra, Kumba. Of course, Falcon's Fury is an awesome ride that we opened a couple of years ago, but Cobra's Curse brings a whole new attraction to Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay, and that's something for the whole family. And so I've just been talking to some people this morning, and 4-year-olds can ride Cobra's Curse with their family, so that's going to be really exciting for our guests.
Awesome. So we talked about the family aspect. You have obviously the Sesame Street area in the park, all the great animal interactions. And this kind of brings a family coaster to an area that didn't really have a lot for families to do in the park, correct?
That's right. Egypt has Montu, one of the world's best coasters, and Cobra's Curse brings something great to families for the Busch Gardens. You know, we've got great shows. We have some of the world's best roller coasters, but this one's a whole new breed.
All right, so can you give us any bit of insight on what we might be looking for next at Busch Gardens? Are we going to continue the family theme, or?
Well, you know, it takes years to develop these rides. This one's been in the works for several years, and we're working on the next generation as we speak. So I'm not quite ready to divulge what we have up our sleeves, but it's going to be exciting.
Awesome, that's fair. What can you tell us about our long lost Gwazi at the moment? Is that something in the near future?
We do have some plans for that Gwazi site, and you'll see some changes over there soon, I hope.
Soon you hope. All right, thank you very much for talking with us today.
All right,
we're here with Phil Hillary inside the queue for Cobra's Curse. And standing behind you, Phil, is the actual live snake exhibit, correct?
That's correct, yeah. We actually have 5 individuals in here from 4 different species. So as you can kind of see, we've used their natural elements, or where they would naturally hang out, and made the display to fit their needs. So up top you can see the 2 mambas that we have hanging up on the simulated vines. They're an arboreal snake, so you'd find them up in trees or up on vines. The gaboon viper, which is down here, is more of an ambush predator. So they will lie and wait for something, prey item to come by, and then they will snap it up. And then over in the corner in that little port, you can see our rhinoceros viper. And that one's just, again, it's another ambush predator that they will lie in wait. And the last is a actual non-venomous, and that's our Angolan python. And they are a constrictor, so non-venomous, but they will overcome and then suffocate their prey.
Awesome. So we was talking a little bit before we went on camera about the enrichment ideas that you do with the snakes. Don't do too much enrichment, but you said they were saying something a lot about scent.
Yeah, what's neat about the way that we brought these snakes in, anything that comes on property, they go through a quarantine process. Individual snakes were housed individually in quarantine, but all in the same room. So because of their ability to pick up pheromones and scents from their environment with their tongue, they started realizing that there were other snakes in the same room, and they started getting accustomed to each other in that way. And then once we introduced them to the habitat, it wasn't like a brand new experience for them. They had always been around each other, always been reinforced around each other. And so the transition to the habitat went very, very well. We have had no problems whatsoever. In fact, earlier, we had the Angolan python decided to go up into the shift box with the male mamba.
Oh, wow.
And they were just hanging out together, no conflicts whatsoever. So they've integrated very well to the habitat and integrated to each other very well.
Very cool. So one final question with regards to the habitat. We see kind of a body of water here in the purple center of the screen right now, folks. Do any of the snakes like to get in the water for like an enrichment, or?
Yeah. A lot of times when it comes around shedding time, they want to make sure that they're well hydrated. Sometimes they'll soak before they shed. Yesterday we actually saw the Angolan stretch the entire length of that pool and then actually swam out on the other side. And it was just, again, exploring its environment. They would naturally come across bodies of water in the wild, and so they do the same thing in this habitat. But it is a really neat display. It's very dynamic. We can change our heating elements to change it up, and so it's not a very static display. It's actually changeable and very dynamic.
Awesome. Thanks for talking with us today, Phil. We're here with Brian Morrow again. I feel like we just seen you about a week ago at Mako, and now we're in Tampa for Cobra's Curse at Busch Gardens.
We are.
So Brian, what's your most exciting feature in Cobra's Curse's queue, which I have a feeling I know the answer to?
So I'm most excited about the queue line because we've never had a story-driven, air-conditioned, show-controlled space before for a coaster here at Busch Gardens. So it was a great opportunity for us to do storytelling in a brand new way. We do it in all different tools and formats. If you bring your cell phone and turn on your flashlight, you'll be able to actually read and translate all the story of the Snake King throughout the entire queue. And then once you reach deep into the chamber, which is here in Chamber 2, the Snake King will actually manifest himself. As the head outside is being raised back up, it actually starts to create energy inside the temple, which makes this guy come to life and tells the story of the Snake King.
Awesome. So what aspects went into developing Cobra's Curse, the story, not just to go along with the family attraction?
Right. Well, we started with this idea of a family mine train type of coaster, right? A really cool family thrill ride, and then it fit really well with the archaeological dig site storytelling. So that's where we landed, and then from there we started scripting the story of the Snake King. And the Snake King book, the story of Cobra's Curse, is 77 pages long. And it's this big, beautiful fictional novel that we wrote, which actually guides all the details throughout the attraction. Every sound you hear, every character you see. We filmed and produced media about a year ago here in Orlando with some local talent. Digital content was all created in Burbank, California. This whole room was mocked up in full scale and tested in Burbank as well before it came to site here. And spent a lot of time making sure things like you couldn't tell how it was done, where the projectors are hidden, those sorts of great tricks that we used.
Awesome, really cool. So this is another, we asked Jim Dean earlier, this is another family attraction for Busch Gardens Tampa. We obviously had Falcon's Fury a couple years ago, great thrill ride. So what story are we looking to tell next?
So it's been a while that we haven't done, you look at our cadence, and it's the same story I tell all the time. We go through cadences of products to make sure our parks stay completely balanced. Cheetah Hunt, a higher level of family thrill, higher height restriction, 48 inches, and an inversion. Falcon's Fury, super scary thrill ride, and then now Cobra's Curse at 42 inches, no inversion. So something we haven't done in a while. There's products that we haven't talked about with animals shows that you might see coming from us, and then it's more attractions always. We have new ideas coming for this park, new tools that we can come up with, and new experiences you haven't seen from our company before coming.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for talking with us today, Brian.
Here comes the Snake King. I got you out of this.
Yeah.
I shower them with blessings of the people who are consumed by greed, seeking more, ever more. And now, human greed has returned to this barren land, and the Snake King shall reign once more.